Hey, welcome back to Ping Pong Flicks. My name is Chris Wong. The embargo has been lifted from Power Rangers the movie, and the reviews are coming in. A lot of them, but right now only 14 reviews, 7 of which is rotten and 7 of which is fresh, which comes it down right down on the 50% line. Another divisive movie. Why do I keep liking or talking about divisive movies? Oh well, let's get down to the meat, the nitty and gritty. Now we're going to the Power Rangers reviews, see who's talking about it, see who's actually posted. Now this is 14 critic reviews. 5 of them were top critics. I don't really know what top critic means. I think they're either really well sought out or they did most of the reviews on this site. I have no idea. But this is Rotten Tomatoes is an aggregate site where it just combines different critic reviews. They do not review themselves, so don't stop hating on them. The way they go about it, though, I do not really understand or like. I wish the meter for rotten and fresh is just a 50-50 at the 50% waypoint or 60% waypoint. You could think on average that it is a good, but you can be given a rotten score. So I didn't say it's a really fair. It'll be nice to look at the ratings and see what actually score is. A lot of these critics you can go through, you can read their reviews, but I suggest you don't. Just read their headline if you want to, because a lot of these reviews are major spoilers, huge spoilers. Like, they go into detail about what happens in the first screen, and that's a little bit too much. I think I clicked on a Hollywood Reporter and I just had to stop, scroll down all the way down to the last paragraph just to see their final thoughts on it. And even sometimes some of these critics, I'm not sure, but they have spoilers in the final thoughts as well. So be aware of that, and I suggest you watch the movie first, gather your own opinions, and then go ahead and read these reviews. But in any case, I'm just letting you know that right now it's divided. 7 and 7. 7 critics gave it a rotten score. 7 critics gave it a fresh score. And some of these are really well-known media outlets. Critic outlets. The Wrap, Hollywood Reporter, Variety, IndieWire, USA Today. So right now it's only 14 reviews. Now, the way this thing works is that there's a lot more than this. Especially on Wednesday, I think advanced screenings are going to be held in certain parts. Even tomorrow, there'll be more reviews coming out. I think they have up to like 200 or even almost 300 reviewers that need to go on here. So don't get discouraged if Rotten Tomatoes is your way of happiness. Particularly for me, it's not too much anymore. I understand what it is, and I understand that each movie is subjective towards an audience. I personally myself have a big fan of movies that don't do very well on Rotten Tomatoes, and really criticize movies and dislike movies that are highly regarded on Rotten Tomatoes by all the critics. So it's about you. If you don't let this be your judgment of how you should feel watching a movie, judge it for your own. Go ahead, go watch the movie and see for yourself. But for the people who want to see what Rotten Tomatoes, what the score is on Rotten Tomatoes, I'm sharing it with you right now. But some of these I want to go through a few of these, and the fresh ones and the rotten ones. So like Joe Blow's Movie Emporium, he says it plays out like $100 million version of CW pilot, but not bad for what it is. And I think that is a huge step up from what Power Rangers is now in terms of maturity. I dig my Saturday morning Power Rangers show. For me it's Sunday morning, but for like Ninja Steel that I'm watching now, and you can watch all my after shows for that. I dig that type of Power Rangers show, but in this particular universe, they get a little more gritty, but not as gritty as some of that rated R dark fan film that a lot of people didn't like. Okay, it's gritty, a little bit grittier, but enough to be like a CW type feeling, and I think that's a good way to go because that's a right balance between a child and a teenager and an adult. It has that right balance between both worlds, and I think it'll kind of be something that people can relate to in the theaters. But let's move on. Den of Geek. Longtime Power Ranger fans will genuinely love this movie, which never resorts to self-mockery and villain problems aside, doesn't talk down to its audience. I like that. That's just going to show this is for the Power Ranger fans, and I believe it is. I've seen Power Rangers Now review, and I look at them, the people I would look at in terms of good judgment. If a Power Rangers fan like myself would enjoy it, or a Power Rangers fan like you would enjoy it, you wait for Black Nerd, you wait for Andrew, Black Nerd Andrew, and you wait for Power Rangers Now, you wait for MMPR, you wait for Toku Nation, Morphin Legacy, all these different outlets. You wait for their reviews because they're the ones that are speaking for on behalf of us, of behalf of the audience, the target audience that this movie is for, and that's what it really is. Now, we want to say that they tried to make a movie that counterbalances it out and for everyone, and I think there is some, but there are going to be a lot of criticism for especially people who don't even understand Power Rangers from the beginning, and they've already had themselves in mind that this show is supposed to be a silly kid little thing, and they don't understand what it is. So with that said, it's kind of like this guy, Mike Uprocks. It's jarring at times how often it goes back and forth between gritty and silly, and that just makes it's kind of confusing. I mean, I haven't watched the film myself. I'm going to be watching it on Wednesday. Totally excited. Really digging it. But gritty and silly, that is Power Rangers at its core. That is also a lot like Guardians of the Galaxy, those types. It's a superhero film. It gets funny and silly, and then you get the gritty part as we get serious. So I don't really understand that much for that comment. Then again, I am not reading review yet. I will review these reviews after I watch the film, because I myself don't even want to get spoiled myself. I didn't even watch the last. I think there's a newest clip came out. I really don't want to watch anything more. I want to save my energy and save my expectations for when I stay in line and watch the film myself this Wednesday. IGN Movies. Now this is a bunch of nerd group. Power Rangers doesn't quite pull off everything it wants to, but it's a fun time in a theater nonetheless. I like that because that's what it is. Don't get serious. Don't try to nitpick this brain thing out, even though I am. And I'll find things. Believe me, I'll find things that can put more depth and layer than it really should. But I'll find things, you believe it. But at the same time, you wanted to have a fun time at theaters. My kids are going to go. They just want to have fun. And I think that's a good sign that things are coming to go. This critic, Brian Truitt from USA Today, hope you take your Zords a large helping of cheese. Well, if you're going into a Power Rangers movie, knowing about Power Rangers, the cheese has always been there. It has never gone. It's part of the essence of Power Rangers. The cheesiness of it. I mean, 5 teenagers talking to a floating head and then morphing into superheroes and giant robots. What movie were you thinking you were going into? Seriously. That is just the weirdest comment. But anyway, moving on. A mega budget reboot that's embarrassed at the TV show it's bringing to the screen. I can't wait to read that one because that sounds kind of silly, knowing that a lot of the Easter eggs and a lot of love they put into this film to honor and respect the past, but embrace the future of Power Rangers. So I really want to see these, actually get to read these reviews. Cinema Blend. It can't be yet enjoyable romp that honors its roots while carving out a place for this charismatic new generation of heroes that should make longtime fans and newcomers proud. Exactly, exactly. This is the kind of things I want to see. That's exactly what I feel like this movie is going to be, and I can't wait to see it this Wednesday. Metro. It's hard to take even semi-seriously a pricey romp where the villain is named Rita Repulsa. So obviously, this guy does not know Rita Repulsa and has not even watched the old Power Rangers. He has no clue. So for those type of reviews, if you're a fan and you're looking at those, you're reading the wrong reviews. You gotta look for the people that you respect and you know that will understand you as you're the target audience. Scott Mendelson, at its best, Power Rangers is a throwback to a time when getting a darker, more serious, big budget feature based on your favorite kid-friendly property, one that felt like a real film, was a rare and splendid thing. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what they're doing. They're taking a kid-friendly version and getting a little bit darker, more serious, but not to the point of the rated R fan film that was. A teen group therapy session disguised as a superhero movie, Power Rangers is numbingly predictable and cynically made, recycling myriad blockbuster tropes but draining their adolescent pleasures in the process. Well, it is a superhero film, and it is a Power Rangers film, so it's kind of, I mean, yeah, I mean, that would be kind of cool if they changed up the plot a little bit, but then you'll get that dark fan film, you know. So in a sense, they still have to be part of how it was Mighty Morphin before, be that predictability. So I mean, I'm guessing this guy is more like indie films. And I could keep going on here, but a lot of good reviews, at least the headlines anyway, and a lot of not so good reviews. And some of these, the way they're talking in their headlines, it just seems like they don't understand the Power Rangers fans at all. So we'll see. I mean, this is only 14 reviews. There's about 200 something that should be coming in, and we'll see how the broad picture looks like. So I'm actually kind of glad it's half and not like 10%, you know, like one guy or no people that like it. So if you see like half, that's it's divisive, yes, but that means there's a general amount of people that will like it and general amount of people that won't like it. And I just hope the fans like it. I just hope I love it. And from what I've heard, I've read Power Rangers Now, and they're fans of I mean, I kind of skimmed through because I didn't really want to get spoiled too much, although they're really good at not spoiling anything. And I thank you, Power Rangers Now, for doing that. Thank you so much. They gave it an 8 out of 10. So if that's your target demographic is giving it a positive score, then I'm pretty confident I'm going to like it, and that's good enough for me. But I want to get something interesting clear here, is that some of these reviews, like the rotten ones, oh yeah, 4 out of 10, that's definitely rotten. But some of these are like this guy is a C minus. In general score, that should be kind of like a passing. If you get a C minus in like algebra, I'd be ecstatic because I'm terrible on math, and if I got a C minus, I'd be like, yes, I passed the class. So it's interesting how even though it's like a C minus, what they'll generally, the Rotten Tomatoes will ask the reviewer, is this a rotten? They only give you 2 choices, even though you have a grade level like that, and one is rotten or one is fresh. And so a lot of times they just take that C minus and just make it rotten instead of fresh. So it's not a really accurate. It's very black and white compared to what you actually read in each of the stories, where they can give out the positives, and sometimes the positive, even though they outweigh the negatives a little bit, it just gets a negative rotten score. At least that's how I'm thinking it works. But let's look at something here. So like another movie like Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad, if you look at the average rating, some of those are actually a little higher in the percentage because they're taking the rating of the person's the critic's own personal score and adding that to a level of by 10. So in this case, its average rating is actually 5.3. It's a little, just a little above Rotten, above a 50% line. So take that into consideration too if this is how you want to judge your movies. Personally, I believe you should judge it for yourself. Go out in droves this Thursday or Friday, or if you got your advanced screening tickets and you dig the film, go out, support it again this weekend. Go out with your family and watch it, and just support Power Rangers. This is a great time for us Power Rangers fans, and I hope you guys enjoy the movie. And as much as I hope I'm going to enjoy the movie, I'm expecting to enjoy the movie, and I just can't wait. I mean, it's only 2 days away from me. That's unbelievable. Waited years for this. I mean, this is incredible moment in time, and I hope it meets at least parts of my expectations, and I hope it meets lots of your expectations. So good luck, people. This is probably might be the last thing, my word on Power Rangers, until my advanced screening, and I will come out with a non-spoiler review. Very non-spoiler. I'll keep my trap shut just to say that maybe I won't say anything. I'll try not to say anything much. But that's it, guys. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the theaters because it's morphin' time.